Hi, I'm Tripp Shannon. I'm the Chief Revenue Officer for DroneUp. DroneUp is a complete drone solutions company with several divisions supporting both the private sector and public sector clients. At the heart of our company is our drone pilot network, which we use to fly missions across the United States and increasingly across the world. We dispatch missions to local 107 pilots with the skills and equipment necessary to complete our missions. Through its merger earlier this year with AeroVista Innovations, DroneUp has a training and consulting division. We train pilots for 107 exams and provide new pilots with the skills they need to complete their missions. We also help entities and pilots get night waivers and flight over people waivers. We also have other divisions that handle equipment sales and a research and development division, which I'll discuss more during this presentation. Earlier this year, we had a great example of a successful public-private partnership with SpaceX's launch of astronauts to the International Space Station. For the first time in a long time, we were able to launch astronauts from U.S. soil to the International Space Station. SpaceX was able to use technology that it had developed for the private sector to launch satellites into space to now launch astronauts to the International Space Station. This was a very successful operation and a great example of how the public and private sectors can work together for successful missions. In October of last year, DroneUp signed a contract with NASPO ValuePoint to provide drone services to public entities across the United States. Through that contract, DroneUp can provide drone services to state agencies and cities and counties throughout the United States. DroneUp's NASPO ValuePoint contract covers 5 areas: economic development and tourism, law enforcement, emergency response, aerial inspection and mapping data, and agriculture and game. Some of the advantage of public-private partnerships are that private entities and their offerings are often initiated from novel concepts and ideas, which require quite a bit of learning, pivoting, and evolution before the models can be created and applied as reusable, cost-effective frameworks. Private funding, including various types of investment funds, makes these innovations possible and allows room for learning and developing scalable solutions. More often than not, the public sector entities do not have these same opportunities. Public sector entities also don't have the room to fail. However, the public sector can take advantage of the market skills and expertise to solve a myriad of challenges without the risk and costs of research and development to achieve a business objective in a more efficient and effective way. The biggest advantage of public-private partnerships is the ability to tap into experienced and reputable private sector capabilities for low-cost, high-value deliverable in a significantly shorter period of time. This year will be remembered for COVID-19. COVID-19 has forced private sector companies to look for new and more efficient ways to do business. That has forced them to look at drone technology, and we at DroneUp have seen quite a bit of new business as a result of this. Private sector entities have been coming to us to find new and different ways to do their business. Public sector has not been as quick to adopt drone technology this year. The public sector has been in a very stressful, overworked mode for the past several months. We believe, however, that later this year, the public sector will begin adoption of drone technology as they look for new and more efficient ways to do their work for the public. This push to public sector adoption of drone technology will be due in part to the budget shortfalls that they will be facing over the next years. So I wanted to give another example of when public and private partnerships can work. Many times they are ones where the vendor is just modifying or adopting technology that's being used in the private sector for use in the public sector. Recently, we used some technology that we developed for the private sector for public sector clients. In this example, we were hired by a large natural gas company to inspect pipelines going over bridges after natural disasters. We experimented with various equipment and various flight patterns to determine the best use of the equipment and technology to measure the changes to the pipes after natural disasters. We were then able to use this technology to fly bridges for departments of transportation. In this way, we are just merely adapting private sector technology to a public sector purpose. Another example of a public-private partnership that DroneUp was involved with was a project we did late last year to measure railroad humps for the U.S. Department of Transportation. Department of Transportation contacted us because they wanted us to run a mission to fly LiDAR over a railroad hump to measure the grade at the crossing. The reason for this project was a tragedy that occurred in 2017 in Biloxi, Mississippi, when a bus carrying a number of passengers got stuck on a railroad track because of the grade of the crossing. The U.S. Department of Transportation contacted DroneUp about using a LiDAR sensor to measure the grade of the railroad crossing. In this case, DroneUp provided a pilot with a LiDAR sensor who was also able to clean a point cloud to provide the data that the U.S. Department of Transportation needed. We also suggested that we would like to fly the same mission using photogrammetry. The U.S. Department of Transportation was able to compare the results of our LiDAR flown mission with our photogrammetry mission. The results showed that the difference between LiDAR and a photogrammetry mission flown in a certain pattern that DroneUp developed was not material for the purposes of measuring the grades on these crossings. Through this project, we provided DOTs across the country with an economical way to measure these grades and document the risk of these crossings. DroneUp worked with the Center of Innovative Technology in Virginia and a group called Go Virginia to fund this operation. We were testing the ability to deliver small test kits or small medical supplies to someone at a distance. We used visual observers and local pilots to fly these missions, and many of the missions were flown autonomously. This project successfully tested the delivery of these items into a potentially quarantined area. We were able to deliver items across the campus very safely and very effectively during this operation. We published our results and made them available for everyone, drone pilots, the community, local states and governments, to see our operation and the results of the operation. Another example of a public-private partnership that DroneUp has worked on occurred just last week. You may see a press release about it this week. We worked with NATO to prove out the ability to deliver ammunition to troops operating in the field. It was a really interesting exercise. We had local former SEALs that were moving forward, firing rounds. As they expended ammunition, they were able to hit a device that we installed on their helmets and call up ammunition to be delivered to them. The test was that the ammunition had to be flown autonomously to that person and land within a meter of that operator. DroneUp was able to successfully autonomously deliver the right ammunition to the right operator in the field so that they could reload and continue with their operations. The technology that we developed could be used to deliver a number of different items to someone in the field, whether it's medical kits, ammunition, or water or food. This technology is a great solution for NATO, and they are looking forward to moving towards other operations to test this technology. When are public-private partnerships not successful? Well, I used to work in a software company before coming to DroneUp. I heard lots of war stories from my public sector clients about projects that were unsuccessful. There were many software programs that governments tried to implement that just failed. The reason for these failures are many. It could be that there were problems with the technology and it didn't easily move from the private sector to the public sector entity. My space was procurement, and obviously there is a huge difference between public sector procurement and private sector procurement. Many times, companies were trying to use private sector procurement software platforms and force them into a public sector environment. In those cases, they did not work and the projects failed. In those cases, the technology was so different in the private sector that it could not be adapted to public sector use. We had to develop specific software for the public sector entities in those cases. Projects can also fail because the scope of the project is not clearly defined and the needs of the customer are not fully understood. Quite frankly, some of the times that projects fail is just because simply there's a resistance to change within inside an entity. That resistance to change can cause problems for the project and kill an otherwise successful project. Public-private partnerships can also fail because we take on too much at once. It's nice when it's an iterative process where there are small steps taken to adopt the private sector technology into the public sector entity. Turnover in the public sector customer can also cause problems with a public-private partnership. Having people in new appointed positions create new strategic objectives for the entities, which can change projects or hinder their success. One thing that made our NATO project so successful was that NATO provided DroneUp with a very specific set of requirements. These requirements were developed over a number of different meetings and put into a contract with very specific requirements that we were to fulfill. This made it easy to measure success of the project. We either delivered the right ammunition to the right operator in the field or we didn't. It was an easy pass-fail. Another area that can cause problems for public-private partnerships are when someone tries to take on too much at once. It helps when the missions are controlled, smaller in scope, and tightly defined. At DroneUp, we hire local pilots to fly our missions. So if we get a mission under our NASPO ValuePoint contract, we'll be hiring pilots in our local markets to serve those customers. In conclusion, public-private partnerships are important because they advance the use of technology in the public sector and create efficiencies from that technology that make public entities more efficient so that they can be good stewards of their constituents' money. If public-private partnerships can work in something as complex and risky as space travel, surely we can work to find ways to incorporate such a potentially game-changing technology as drones into public agencies. Thank you for your time today. You can connect with us on DroneUp.com or email us at info@droneup.com. We look forward to hearing from you, and if you're a pilot, again, please register on our network.